Good evening. That is the equivalent of going out into the noise of the world and then coming to a quiet space. I taught someone in the military that I didn't quite understand why I operated the way I did, right? Until one day he was like, I get it. Yeah. Because you have to bring that into your conscious awareness. Most people are not conscious through their day, they are on autopilot, right? You ever notice when you drive, like, you could be, I don't know, fumbling around with 100 things and somehow still make it there safely? That. The rabbit hole of the topics that I discussed earlier are much, 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 much deeper. Much deeper. But you don't start where you are whenever you're trying to teach people things. You start where they are so that they can come up. Yeah. At least that's how I operate, right? Like you have to work on the level that they are and work around what the confines are of what their confines or limitations are, right? Like if I'm working with someone in the wilderness and they're just not getting the way that everyone else is doing it, then I will observe them, figure out where they're struggling, and then find a solution that they are capable of working with to at least get to you're getting the job done. It may just have to be a little bit differently, yeah? Like it's tweaked. So that's the same concept here. So I just assume that people who are interested in my channel, uh, you're probably all pretty much on like either a higher understanding or you're just interested in the weird ass shit, yeah? Like, it definitely makes for a completely different view of the world than the one that everyone else is engaged in. That's for sure. I find it difficult to operate in both. Or not really. I mean, like, I still go to work. I still have, like, normal things to do, right? But there's always this knowing in the back of my mind that it's fucking pointless, right? Like, but that's taught me how to, like, change my perceptions on my interactions with people, right? Because, like I said, I did a control, right? Where I took myself away from people because energies can work through people since most people are not conscious, right? Like anything can work through them and they can just come and attack you for no reason or just be crappy to you for no reason, right? And instead of being reactive towards that, recognize it for what it is. This is something that is testing me right now. This is something that is lower intelligence, but it wants to pretend or assert its dominance where it has none, right? And if that body, if that physical carrier wasn't available to it, then it would just have to show up the way it is. The same way that shit just has to show up the way it is here. Because I don't place myself around a bunch of people, right? I work overnight. I work by myself. So anything that it wants to say or do or whatever, it's got to come in the form that it is. Yeah. So it's all the same. It just makes it much, much easier whenever you take out the like physical body factor, because then you don't have a face or a person to like build those emotions against, right? Because it can get confusing. Like you want to put it off on the person, but is it really, right? Is it really? And I think that that's the issue that we're having in the world, is there is a lot of entities running amok and a lot of unconscious people, and it's just working through all of them for its agenda. Yeah. Until people can wake up to this and understand this, right? That they are contributing to this, then this place is just going to look the way it does. I would like to get into a little bit of this simulation theory. Yeah. I usually don't talk about computer stuff because I'm not trying to help these fucking nerds, right? Like, I'm not trying to help them understand their shit, right? But know that all of their shit came from nature. Everything that this world has ever done has come from nature. Period. You understand nature, you understand everything. Period. Okay? Which is probably why there's such a campaign against respecting that which actually nourishes you, right? It's the herbs. It's the organic food. It is a clean environment. It is clean air. It is clean water. This is what nourishes you. This is what takes care of you while you're sharing this space and awareness in your existence, yes. It is not their chemical laden whatever. It is not their pharmaceuticals. And even I have to tread lightly with that, right? Because there is a place for things, people, and skills, right? Like, especially for as much evolution that is left for people, even including myself, right? Like, you know, if I need 3 discs replaced, then yeah, I want a fucking surgeon to like fix it. Yes, absolutely, right? But there has been this very heavy shift to using what was supposed to be meant for good as something that is very, very nefarious. And that seems to be how they operate, right? You see it all over the world. You could use the news to lift everyone's vibrations and show them hopeful, good things, change the whole attitude of the whole nation without them even knowing it, right? But no, they prefer to put in all of these traumatic and keep them in a constant state of fear and worry and blah, blah, blah things. That's what they prefer. And that's what it's heavy on. Yeah, that's why I don't own a TV, right? And I'm really thankful that I basically lived under I don't know, some sort of like whatever whenever I was little, so I never really got to watch TV anyways, right? But there is a lot of they could, but they don't, right? Just like with the music. You could, because music is so important. It's so important, right? It's so important. Everybody, when you listen to music, what you need to do is say you're just feeling a memory comes up or something, right? This is really good for like trauma, PTSD, people who need to like heal certain aspects of things, and you relate to a song, right? And it's your go-to song whenever you're not feeling good or you're down or blah blah blah, right? And it encapsulates everything that you feel. Start there, yeah. Start there, and then the next one. Try to listen to the sounds instead of the words, yeah. And then the next one, find something that sounds kind of similar that runs cohesively with it, right? Think of it as trying to create an instrument that makes a cohesive sound. If you hit the wrong key on a piano at the wrong time, then it sounds out of place, right? The radio is very much like that, right? It's just a bunch of nonsense. The next song, make it a little bit more positive or uplifting, and keep working up. The emotion in the music needs to keep working its way up, right? You can go from, I want to, blah, 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 but it needs to go to some state of peaceful, right? My music works like that, right? Like, it's a little bit more complicated because I went around the U.S., observed everyone's the frequency in all the areas because music is different everywhere. If you ever notice, like a culture or a town or whatever will adapt to that, right? Like if you go to Tennessee, all you're going to hear is like hillbilly banjos and country music's what every so it's what people are doing, right? But if you go up north, it's a lot different. Just like if you go out west, it's a lot different, right? They're not playing the same things. Culture's not the same. People don't act the same. So music is heavily, heavily uh, influential. They know this, right? And then whenever you're feeding a bunch of people just garbage, right? What are they going to do? They're going to exhibit that garbage. But not only that, this is the danger that people don't understand. The danger of media. Because one, they'll never shut off the world long enough to observe their own behavior throughout the day. You are taught to, like, what? Go to school, find a partner, get married, have kids, pay a 30-year mortgage. You praise your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, you die, right? That's the plan. That's the plan. That's what they want you to do. You stay in one place, one job. That equals smart choices and success. Couldn't be further from the truth, right? And if you don't get outside of your bubble, you will never see it. You'll never see a bigger picture. You'll never see it. Because if you did, you would understand that all these things keep looping. All these things keep looping. Every single experience that you've ever had, all these people that you've met, it'll keep looping. And it'll keep confronting you with these same personalities or aspects that you need for your healing. To confront again, to gain a higher perspective of it. And that's how you evolve your consciousness, yes. And you can only do that by expanding the lens, per se, right? But the subconscious is a crazy thing, right? Like whenever I listen to any mix of media, first off, I'm very choosy, picky. I have nailed my craft, okay? Like, but I'll know this, like if I listen to anything negative and this and that, like things will mess up my day, right? That's how powerful it is, right? Or it'll inconvenience me or this and that if I put out the wrong vibration, right? But not only that, it goes into the food that you make. It goes into everything that you do. And I mean visually. Visually. The subconscious is constantly picking up things, right? Like when most people paint or they draw, they see surface level and that's what they put on a canvas and everybody's oohed and awed about it because they can like put this but blah blah detail into it and make it look so realistic, right? But that's not vibration. People should be able to pull that vibration, the vibration of it, out of their subconscious because you do absorb it. And it can be translated. And it will be translated. It's just you won't be aware of it because it's not brought into awareness by your consciousness yet. Yes. So every time they want to control like an algorithm or something like that, right? That's their ultimate goal. I was listening to these British. The British have such a problem with people being able to free speech, right? I've never seen, right? And they know that people don't trust them. Yeah. But their biggest fear is that people will create their own algorithms, yes. Like instead of just being fed information, you will go seek information that is tailored to you. And I'm going to tell you for your growth, right? Like how I'm telling you to be very picky with your music, right? It's just like Spotify. You can get on Spotify, listen to a song, and what? Go hit the radio, and it'll give you a whole bunch of similar songs on a playlist, or it'll give you like similar artists and this and that, right? And that's great for building sound structure. It is, like, as long as you're picking and choosing the stuff, yeah. As long as you are being picky and choosy about what you're watching, right? And all of this stuff will come from an empty and clear space, right? Come out here, clear my mind, and whenever I paint, there is not a single thought in my brain. It is just brush to canvas, and it shows up in the atmosphere all around the world. Years now I've been doing this, yeah. So if people knew that they could paint the sky, illuminate different, because this is an interdimensional world, don't let them tell you any different, right? These fools ain't never been to no space, okay? There's a whole world under the dang ocean. Truth be told. Truth be told. Okay? But this is interdimensional, right? Those things share the same space as you. Just like I was talking about the typewriter earlier, right? It's not demons and shit that's doing that. No. It's other beings who can share the same space with you, right? They're solid on the layer beneath, on the vibration, the bandwidth beneath the one that you occupy, right? It's not visible to the eye. It's like yesterday I was looking at a CCTV footage, someone's yard, and a portal opened up, and they said you couldn't see it like with the naked eye, but you could on camera, right? And that's just like whenever I was doing the experiment at my house, not with the naked eye, but whenever I filmed it. And this was an old phone, so it's not like none of this AI shit existed, none of this like trickery, whatever, none of that existed, right? So, although those typewriters were moving, there are things, there are beings in it that just can manipulate the physical from the wavelengths of where they are, right? If that makes sense, right? They can be in one dimension and operate in several, just like I can, right? Like, but you as natural beings can do this, which would lead one to conclude that you are very well capable of collectively shifting into a higher whatever where these things cannot operate or exist, yes. I know that sounds crazy and strange, right? But you see enough, you know enough, then it'll make sense, yeah. Not everything is going to make sense to everyone all at once, yeah. Just like crystals didn't make sense to me until it made sense, yeah. Until I started working like on electricity and piezoelectricity and stuff like that, right? Then it became important. And it is better to one day at a time, right? But it all seamlessly goes together, right? Like there could have been an issue that I started working on Thursday and it's still unfolding, you know? Nothing is separate from itself. Or the whole. And they know this. That's why they operate on like chaos and chaos magic, yes? But it's very fear-based what they do. In fear, you can be controlled, easily controlled when you're in a state of fear. That's why people need to learn how to The more you understand about your existence, the more you learn there's nothing to fear. Yeah. Nothing. Once you can manipulate matter, it doesn't matter. And just by the changes that an individual makes, it can create sort of like an upgrade in everyone. But like I said, I'm not getting into all the whatever's, right? Because I'm not trying to. But when you hear them talk about like the quantum computers and all this other shit, or Elon Musk saying that they're like summoning something, blah blah blah. It's because their shit is more magic than it is fucking what you people think it is. Yeah. Facts. And that's where their symbols and the designs of things come into play. That's why I observed architecture whenever I visited the States or like went around all the states and stuff, right? And just like they are trying to find a predictable pattern in you, I found a predictable pattern in their shit, okay? So, in fact, they want to look for the predictable patterns in everyone, but they are the most fucking predictable of all, aren't they? They are. They are, because what they do works for them, so they don't deviate from it. Right? Same rituals that they were doing fucking 500 years ago were the same ones that they fucking do today. So predictable to something intelligent coming in and observing it, yeah. That's why you need to treat your frequency like it's a fucking VPN, you know. Just hop all around and fucking confuse them, yeah. So yeah, don't let these. First off, they only have control because everyone gives it to them, yeah. They only have power because everyone gives it to them, yeah. Not because they're fucking smart. No. Very predictable. They're very predictable. They're just now trying to learn about you, yeah. Through like social media and all this other shit, yeah. A little slow, yeah. Then the element of ever changing people, ideas, and blah, blah, blah. Because they want everything to be the same, right? And that's just not how it works. Like they tried, like putting everyone in like school and teaching them garbage, right? Like everyone else has like beautiful cultures. What's America? A bunch of old fucking dudes like taking over everyone's shit using like trickery and force and violence and all this other shit. That's that thing. Anything a house built on sand will fall. I don't care how many fucking times you try to glue it back together, yeah? I don't care how many times you try to fucking save it. Eventually, you're gonna exhaust yourself trying. And then you're just gonna have to fucking let it fall. Well, what they gained and how they gained it was not in the proper way. Natural law and nature has a way of seeing to it that those things are not things that you get to keep. And once I understood that, I understood all the experiences in my life, right? Why I shouldn't hang on to things if it's not good or if it wasn't obtained in the proper way. Yeah. Because that's against the law of nature. Yeah. You have to do it the right way. You can believe that you don't, but I promise you that you do. Elsewise, you will lose it. It'll be taken from you. And then that's a whole other rabbit hole, right? Everyone needs to shift out of the mentality that they are just merely at the consequence and at the mercy of things that are very bad, that they perceive wrongly, that are above or better than them, yes. No, you need to understand that the way that you operate is just naturally better, therefore you are better, period, right? Be fair in your actions, be good with your intent, and don't worry about a thing at the end of the day, yeah? Know yourself so well you become unshakable by that which is inferior. What is inferior? Anything that operates the way they do, yeah. Where they have to lie, manipulate, steal, thieve to get what they want from you, yeah, or the world at large, right? Immediately, if it's unfair, it's null, void, right? It's just a matter of when they'll see their day, yeah. And they want everyone to believe that they have this under control, blah, 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 right? They know a lot less than they make people believe, right? And that's part of their power, is that you believe that they are bigger, stronger, whatever, than they actually are. That there's no other forces outside of the government and those corrupt folks, yeah? Like you believe they are the source of all the blah, blah. No, they're not. And they're not the only things in existence, right? And neither are you. There is a hierarchy, there is a fucking food chain, okay? And they are not at the top of it. In matters of the cosmos, I can tell you that. Yeah. Their actions alone put them way at the bottom. And the script that they gave you does not benefit you. It does not benefit you. It keeps you trapped. The focus that they give on caring about what people think, despite what is right, right? For you personally, don't worry about that either. They rely on you to worry about that, yeah? I'm of the mindset, if I'm not good enough for you, right? I already know what I do every day, right? You see it on here, right? Do you think I give one iota of a shit what these fucking mindless drones are doing out here? Or what they have to say about me, right? No. I do not give one shit, right? I am more powerful than them where it matters, yeah. Because outside of whatever it is that they think that where they think they are on their little hierarchy amongst this world of just mindlessness, right? Like, there's a million other people like them, right? And I could walk away from them today and still fucking go meet another